us, thumbs up. Thank you for watching.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so good morning, America, and good evening, Kenya. Today we have the pleasure of hosting our sixth president. He is going to vie for the 2027 presidential elections. We want to welcome the Senator Okiyah Omtatah from Busia, but he says he's a Kenyan senator, not just for Busia. Point of correction, Judy, before you get corrected. And thanks to our host, Dr. Omandi, and this is the Omani Show. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, Honorable Okiyah Omtatah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I also want to start with an African proverb, which says, a cat that dreams of becoming a lion must lose its appetite for rats. How do you interpret that, Honorable?
That if I want to be president of Kenya, I should forget about being a senator for Busia.
Okay.
I must move out of my comfort zones.
Yeah.
You have to surrender your comfort zones, your rats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we were excited that you have set up the. You have set up the exploratory committee to look at your presidential ambition. We saw that Gazette notice which you put up that you have set up an exploratory committee. What can you tell us about that exploratory committee first? That you are the first person I saw put a Kenya Gazette that you put an exploratory committee.
Yeah, I mean, many people did not know that an ordinary citizen can publish in the Gazette. So there's a big debate here, leave alone the committee. People are still recovering from the fact that they thought it belonged to government.
Oh yeah, that's what I have also been thinking.
It has a notice board for all everybody, all to use and it's cheap. Yeah, the whole advert cost me 27,000 shillings only. If I was to do that in a commercial meeting, I would be looking for about 500,000 shillings.
Oh.
Wow.
So it is open for any citizen, even me, if I want to put a notice.
Yes.
Good to know. So why did you think of putting an exploratory committee? Because many presidents who have run, they have not put an exploratory committee.
Well, my issue is I want to be able to make informed decisions.
Okay.
I do my things.
Yeah.
I believe in weights and measures.
Okay.
I believe that if you have to fly, you need to have enough fuel in the tank, otherwise you'll get halfway and it tumbles back.
Okay.
So that's what I do. I believe in planning.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also believe in being a realist. So there's no better way to be a realist. There's no better way than allowing somebody else to tell you whether what you want to do is viable or not.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise you can keep on impressing yourselves. That the hare ran alone and thought it was the fastest animal on earth until he met the cheetah. Then there's something else to speed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing, and I think getting the group an objective statement. They're going to do a SWOT analysis of my candidature.
Okay.
A complete. And one of the things they'll see if they encounter an obstacle, They'll try to see how do we overcome that obstacle. They'll not come back and say there's an obstacle, therefore let us fold.
Yeah.
So basically, they're exploring there. They're exploring the landscape to eliminate threats.
Okay.
So huge happens. I think we're on the ballot. Because the reports that even before we hit the road from all corners are positive. But we're going to go around the country, visit county centers, and hold public on various issues. So you'll also help them get feedback on the kind of policy framework that we need to do. To do that, don't require money. Like implementing the constitution and what have you. We're going to do those things. The things that you can do, but their impact is phenomenal. Then there are things that require money, which we once we have tightened the fiscal policies.
Yeah.
So big public finance.
I don't know. It looks like your internet could be lower. There are some of the things we don't hear. I don't know what. When you're talking, I don't know. The internet is low.
A little shaky.
Yeah.
So do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yet I'm hearing you so well. I don't know. So basically, that's what we have, and we are at that point whereby we must take control of public finance and make it difficult for anybody to reach it. Like on day one of the things we take power is to go through the budget. You know, the last budget of Ruto in the current term will be made on 30. But that budget will begin being implemented in September under our new government. So if that government is us, we want to take that budget and go through it with a toothpick to remove all the excess weight it may have, all the corruption and whatever have you, and clean budget. Then we also want to move within that period of span of time to separate from the Ministry of Finance. We're already working on a bill to enact an act of parliament establishing it as required under Article 225, Clause 1. An act of parliament shall establish the treasury. We want to have it separate and independent from the Ministry of Finance, so that China doesn't have free access to money. It will be run like a central bank, and money enters there. Spare money enters there, be it a loan, or be it from taxation, or be it a grant. It can only be taken out when Parliament appropriates it through an act of Parliament, the Appropriation Act, and then its use is supervised by the control of budget. And even the president will have no access, such that if I'm the president and I run stock mid-month, I don't call the PS Finance or the Minister of Finance. They have no access to the money.
Now the question I want to ask you first, before you get into the presidency, you say you are doing an exploratory committee and you are doing a SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
That's one question we have to ask you. Do you have the means to win the presidency in 2027? That's a word before we talk what you are going to do. Do you have that? I saw somebody run an article questioning about your presence. Would you really win as much as you have done all this? I think I was seeing something about somebody put up a gazette, saying Omtatah has won many battles, but can he win the presidency? What do you say about that? Are you able to win the presidency?
Strategy is a strategy I've always employed. Moving the people. Despots. Moving the people away from the despots. That's how I've always done it. Get the people to understand what the issue is, and they will not be fooled. When I went to Busia, I was told Busia is Baba's bedroom unless you run on ODM, go nowhere. And I told them, no, I'm going to be independent because I don't agree with the ODM manifesto. It's just it's a mirror image of the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. And it's very, very thin, nothing transformative about it, just transactional. And I cannot run on that party. So I said, I'm going to run on form myself. And I was told you cannot be the senator if you don't run on ODM in Busia, because Busia
Baba's bedroom.
Is Baba's bedroom, number one. There's more. Baba's got more support in Busia than he has in Luoland. So we went for the election, and I ran, and I did my civic education.
Okay.
I'm the politician who got the single highest number of votes. I even beat Baba. Yeah. So.
All right. Quick question for you. So, what is your motto going into the 2027? You just said the people supported you. You had to do the civic education, right? What is your motto? Because you have to motivate everybody to join that line and just say, you know what, we are here and you're going to win. What is your motto?
I'm running. I am running on a rule of law platform, beginning by implementing the Constitution fully. Implementing it fully as it is. And focusing in order of preference on chapter 7. Public money must go back to serve the public. And even the president must wait for a paycheck at the end of the month. And the budget made by parliament must be a tool of governance. The idea that the president can move from one side, like he goes on a tour, you have got a broken bridge here. Then he says, PS, can you allocate 200 million there? That 200 million is not the budget. To say, Mr. PS, can you take note of that? And you and the area MP work out how you can get that particular bridge into the budget so that it can be approved in the proper way. The idea that the president controls the public purse must come to an end. And that's why we must separate the treasury from the Ministry of Finance, the way it is spelled out in the Constitution.
So, in the Constitution, it is spelled out like that.
Yes.
And you have been a senator.
Yes.
What have you done to make sure the Constitution is upheld on that?
I achieve more in court than in the Senate.
You achieve more in the court than in the Senate?
Yeah, the Senate is largely transactional. Yeah. And you'll see now, like both Raila and Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, came back with this called the Nadiko talks. They're trying to amend the Constitution to create jobs for themselves. So that's where their focus is. So they're already dissatisfied with this Constitution. They think it does not allow them to privatize public assets. So they need to create jobs.
Yeah, but the question I ask is, what have you done to bring that in the Senate before you went to court? There is nothing you can do in the Senate to make sure there is separation of the treasury from the executive.
There's a bill worked on with Senator Wambua, but it's going nowhere.
Because they have the majority.
You need executive power. There's no way the current occupants of State House and the current leaders of the civil service will allow themselves to be locked out of the treasury. They want to have a free access.
Wow.
Okay.
Fight it tooth and nail. It is not even being prioritized. So what I'll do is that that needs executive authority.
Okay.
And that's why we are developing a proper bill. The Wambua or Senator Wambua bill is basically an amendment and create room within the Public Finance Management Act for the Treasury. But we want a Treasury Act with the national treasurer, an institution run like the central bank,
Okay.
where money is governed by professional politicians, where money is only taken out as authorized by law, which is the Appropriation Act, supervised by a professional called the Control of Budget, so that public finances can be sacrosanct, and even the president who falls broke, he must wait for his demand.
Okay.
Okay, so quick question for you. So get it done or tekeleza. Can you tell us?
Yes.
So is it? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, people are complaining many things.
Yes.
Some are saying Ruto must go. Some are saying we want this or that. We want free education. We want taxpayer-funded education. We want this and that. Get it done.
Okay.
Get it done. You want change? Get it done. So we are challenging people that they are the solution to the problems they are facing.
True.
Now, Senator, I want to ask you a question. Now that you have set an exploratory committee, would you abide by their recommendation if they come back and tell you, with the information we have, you cannot win the 2027 presidency? Would you accept the fact?
Suicidal. I've never been suicidal. I will accept.
That's good. That's good to hear. Now, recently the General Secretary of Kotu, what is his name?
Mr. Francis Atwoli.
Atwoli said that you are too poor to run for president. What do you say about that?
I think I'll show you something I saw. I've seen T-shirts in town. People are printing T-shirts. I'm a poor woman. I'll vote for Omtatah, my fellow poor man. So it's a very good thing that he said, because he has given me a lot of mileage. And the volunteers are coming.
There you go.
They have said that they will vote for you.
Yes. Why am I poor? Because he was. That was our problem. Omtatah is not a thief, therefore don't vote for him. That's what Atwoli was saying, because it belongs to yeah, so I don't think it deserves any attention, but I'm very happy for what he said, because beginning on social media, now I've seen T-shirts. I am poor, I'll vote for Omtatah, or I'm poor, I'll stand with the Omtatah. So the poor are standing with the fellow poor man.
Okay.
And the poor are the majority. But when we talk of poverty, we need to look at it. It's that poor. We are very, very poor. Right now, our GDP is our GDP is $1,900 per capita. GDP per capita is 1,900 USD. USD per year. That's very poor.
Yeah.
Now, when you go to if you look at these traffic jams in Nairobi, I usually look around and I laugh. I've bought a second-hand fuel guzzler from Japan.
Yeah.
Our middle class cannot afford a brand new car. They take the vomit of Japan, the vomit of Dubai, but the roads. The traffic jam is full of junk. Even me, I drive junk. I can't afford a brand car. I drive an ex-Japan car. That one the reject. Mwingine amatapisha, mwingine ametapika.
Yeah.
We go to the junkyard and pick. So that's how poor we are. We are our middle class, wear second-hand clothes, drive second. So the country is that poor. So anybody trying to make a mockery of poverty is not being fair to himself.
Yeah.
Is we need to move Kenya with all the resource base we have, with proper management and fiscal discipline. We should move Kenya from $100 per capita to 30,000 USD per capita within 10 years. For that is the rule of law. The foundation for that is the rule of law, not the goodwill of any man, not the genius of any man, the rule of law. Once you have the rule of law and the best rises to the top, this country will go places.
Now you are talking very well, and that's what Ruto talk to people. People are so disappointed.
Never talked of rule of law. Ruto talked of making of manna from heaven.
Okay, I want you to listen to this clip about the taxes which Ruto talked about.
Na mimi nataka niwaambie hivi, serikali ya Kenya hakuna hata tax moja tumeongeza. Na hakuna hata tax itaongezwa. Mtaona katika budget yetu ya mwezi wa sita tutakuwa tunapunguza taxes.
Now that's what after he had come to office before the budget. He said that he was going to lower taxes, and yet we have seen him go to taxes. How realistic is your plan of making Kenya a middle-class country? What are you going to do? Because we want to know, what are you going to do to push Kenya to that level?
And you know, and to add, okay, so that one, and I want you to comment on the status, Tanzania and Kenya. What is going on, the economic status right now? And
yes, first of all, I'll say that President Ruto, not a gas bag is a bag full of gas. So it's a balloon. Anything and for anything. Now, if you don't implement the constitution, you can't control taxation. He's talking about this in the budget. And the truth is, in the budget, they have not increased any tax in the budget. All these taxes you are getting outside the budget. All these loans they are borrowing are outside the budget. You see. So the issue is, if you are to implement the constitution, you would not have affordable housing tax. Because from somebody and give it to somebody else. You cannot do it for the common good. You cannot force me to pay housing tax so that somebody else can benefit. We are not running a Robin Hood state. Kenya is a republic. The Republic of Kenya. So being a republic is a government of law. So let us implement 40. Would not allow the housing levy to be there. You see. But once you get the legal framework right, and you take the control of the treasury away from politicians, then taxation will have to be just. The budget will have to be transparent. And we want to, when we are talking, we have our experts have looked around and said, you only need 14 ministers from the government of Kenya, not 24. So we need to cut down on wastage. We need to cut down on theft of public resources. And then whatever savings we have can go to other things. So we need just to discipline ourselves and to do a balanced budget. Not the kind of things that we see happening. Not the parliament, even for last year, never approved domestic borrowing. Revenue and net expenditure, which the Treasury publishes every month, we are borrowing gazillion of dollars of the budget through the domestic borrowing route. Where is this money going? What is it doing? There's no provision in the budget that we need. The budget has shown us that we have enough taxes, and whatever we need for development that we cannot finance by taxes, shown us the loans that are coming in. Good loan from IMF. Yet IMF is pumping money into Kenya. So this thing we call predatory lending come to trap you in a debt trap, like IMF and all these characters. Once you implement the constitution fully, they will have no room to come in. They can come into Kenya.
Right now, as a senator, in Parliament, you are there. You seem to be a rubber stamp of the executive. We don't hear from the National Assembly. Nobody raises any question about the budget. Like the last budget, people cried. The National Assembly went ahead to pass the bill until the Gen Zs stormed the Parliament. That is when the president came to hear that things are changing. So how are you going to do if you want everybody to work independent? It looks like the National Assembly doesn't do anything. Are you also going to use your executive powers to pass those things without Parliament?
Where has the president? Because he has got access to the treasury. He can take money there and play with it to buy MPs. If we lock that money away, the tax money, if we lock it away from politicians, the president will be powerless to go and buy people. He's only doing it because he's able to dangle.
But
what I'm saying is that
why can't you impeach him because he is violating the constitution?
Impeachment is numbers.
Oh.
Yeah.
To impeach the president.
Yeah.
Even the deputy president could only be impeached after ODM had defected to the government side. Yeah, impeachment is numbers.
It's numbers, yeah.
It's numbers.
So, then the way the institution is right now, he will simply get money and buy people. The president has got unlimited access to public money. So, whether he's a good man, he has got unlimited access to money. Whether he's a bad man, he has got unlimited access to money.
But what we need to do, having that unlimited illegally, as you are saying, if it is not in the constitution, then he's having unlimited access to money illegally.
Yes, not just illegally, unconstitutionally. It's more damning than that. It's unconstitutionally. Having with our constitution. So we need to implement our constitution. If we control money in the treasury, and for any Tom, Dick, and Harry, be it Omtatah as president, be it Judy as president, be it Dr. Omadi as president, get the money the way you want. Look at Biden. Can Biden go and get money from the National Reserve? Can he?
No.
Yeah.
That's what. But you see.
And that's why he cannot buy anybody.
But then, what is preventing you from preventing Ruto from accessing the treasury?
But you have bought parliament. Although you need numbers, you don't have them. You have bought them. Remember when the elections were concluded, Azimio had more MPs than Kenya had more MPs than Azimio. He bought them all.
Yeah.
Even me, I was offered staff to go. I'm the only one who has remained virtually in the opposition in the everybody's crossed. I've remained alone in the Senate. So what can one vote do?
So can we say that you are at the official opposition now? That the ODM left?
In Parliament, we don't have an opposition. We have got the minority and the majority sides. So basically, I'm the lone voice
in
the minority bench side.
Yeah.
So tell us about when the coalition happened, Senator Okiyah. So what happened when what positions were offered to who, and how many people actually decided, you know what, I'm not taking that, except you?
I had been offered the chair for health. Yeah, well, the president offered me that, but I told him no. I am just comfortable where the people put me. I promised people I'd be an independent voice of both ones, and I'm going to be independent of both sides. So just let me just call it on the back where on the minority side with no trappings of power. Yeah, of course I lost slightly more money and what have you, but what's the price of autonomy? What's the price of autonomy? Priceless.
There's no price. There's no price
Well,
for that. That is so true. So true. Yeah. Nobody is pulling the wires. You're not a puppet. Yeah.
And for me, those who know me, even if you an attempt to compare me to Ruto really is a day service. I have a history. There's a very clear footprints leading to where I am.
You
And
have a history.
Yes.
Yep.
Where they call you the chief interpreter. And I remember we used this cartoon last time again. Constitutional interpreter in chief. That is your title of the Kenyan Constitution. And that is why many people, even in myself, thought that you are a lawyer.
Yeah,
even actually, I saw some people were saying, they were saying the possible 2027 that you will be the Attorney General. So
Yes.
that you understand the law than anybody, even those people.
Yeah. So it is good to have something like that, but at the end of the day, we must get our law right.
Yes.
Benefit from it a lot. That's why when I gazetted, I didn't know what the law was. There was when I went there, they went to read. I said, "Yeah, now you have to try. Why you can't block me? This is the law," and they had to publish. Even the government, even the government printer was saying this has not happened. No, you can't. This is only the government that general must approve. What have you? This is the law. Show me.
So you told them this is the law. You seem to understand the law.
I taught the government printer the law. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the law, once you get the law.
So, and one of the questions somebody asked, you have never held any executive position. What makes you fit for presidency? That you have never been in any executive position or serve else. What do you say about that?
The presidency is not just an executive office. The main thing of the presidency is to pursue a vision. I've been a visionary all my life. Yeah. I believe that this country can be better. It will be better managed. What you need to do as a president is that allow the cream to rise to the top. Okay. I don't need to have been an executive for so long to say that it's wrong to steal public funds.
Right.
You see. And even Ruto had never had an executive position as far as I know. Even Uhuru, even Moi, Kibaki was able to bring some light into whatever. So the issue is to have conviction and to have a vision and to rally people to that vision.
Okay.
Managerial work is at the lower level. Managerial work is at the lower level. And the law deals with that. What you need is the vision. Like Kennedy did in the US. When the Russians put the first man in orbit, Kennedy told them that's rubbish. We are going to put a man on the moon in the next. He was not in charge of NASA or whatever, but he gives that vision and the challenge.
Yeah, like vision.
The challenge is that I want Kenya to have a per capita income of 30,000 USD in the next 10 years. Then I'll go to the experts and say, what do we need? And the things that we can do to implement the constitution, I don't need any executive powers. I've been I just need to set up the institutions.
Okay.
I'm an institution builder. Once you have institutions running, they manage themselves. I have litigated the issue of boards of parastatals. And I want boards of parastatals to be filled. Let jobs be advertised.
Okay.
After the jobs are advertised, let the people we have be given those jobs. Let them have targets. It's Kenya Airways. You don't put people who have failed elections, we have masquerade as masters of everything. Give this thing to people who are competent, who understand what it's all about. Let them give us targets they're going to achieve within 10 years, and let them unleash that.
Okay.
The idea of dumping relatives, cronies, and the loyalists on boards of parastatals is killing this country. It is draining. Then they turn out, all they do, even if you have got a good MD, they bog him down by demanding favors, by demanding money, by demanding all manner of things.
Yeah.
So, for me, where I sit, we must, as a people, get Kenya working. The destination of Kenya is the national anthem. Today, when you sing the national anthem of Kenya, it sounds like it belongs to another country.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
You don't see what is within on the ground today. Look at you people in the diaspora. Wherever a Kenyan is, that is part of the Kenyan state. Because the Kenyan state is made of people, territory. It's made of people. And wherever a Kenyan is, that must be Kenya. We must be concerned about them. We must say, what do you need to do to be, as the American military be? So that we can now expand this territory, the state of Kenya beyond the territory of Kenya.
Yeah.
Kenyans we can see how the state can come in and tap that potential for the benefit of the Kenyan state.
Yeah.
So our war is an economic war.
So what will you want the role of the diaspora to play on your campaign? What will be your wish?
First of all, is policy framework. I'd want the diaspora to tell me to see that can unlock their potential. What kind of policy from the motherland do they need? You know, the diaspora are like the goose that lays a golden egg. We want to first of all to feed the goose. Then, so what kind of arrangement will result into that? To ensure that wherever Kenya needs, there's a support mechanism able to get a niche and to be able to thrive. Those are among the things. But ultimately, I would want to, before we go to the campaign, by the way, one thing we are publishing programs, agenda, and activities that we need to do. Like when we are saying on the treasury, we want to do this, this is the bill, you have it ready, and you want to roll it out in the next 1 month or 2 months, and have it signed into law. Split the treasury from finance. So we are engaging. With the diaspora, we will want to engage with the diaspora and come up with a very, very clear policy position. Right from what kind of elections they need, if it is about their national papers for their nationality and what have you. economic investment vehicles, and things like those. So we would want to go there. If they want infrastructure bonds to grow their capital through infrastructure, we want to structure those kind of things. Because right now we are getting the Chinese benefiting from our money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In our need for infrastructure, growing their capital and repatriating it. Is there a possibility to have the same money coming from the source and that Kenyan money? So those are the kind of things we want to engage in. But because I'm not part of the diaspora, I cannot speak for them. But I am open to a discussion brings out a clear policy framework for the benefit of the Kenyan state, whereby I'm saying that wherever a Kenyan is, of the Kenyan state.
Now, there's a question I have to ask you also. Now we don't have an IBC, a well-constituted IBC. And there is a rule that if IBC is not constituted 2 years before election, then there will be no election. And it looks like there's no any reason why we are not having an IBC. Is Ruto playing a game so that he can extend his term in office so that there's no election in 2027?
I think on that particular one, I don't think it is Ruto. I like being fair. First of all, the reason we don't have a law on the IBC, I'm partly to blame. I'm the one who went to court because I see that law was not was a bad law. Okay. So the court agreed with me and questioned that a new body to be formed under the new law. So what has been there is that I've been fighting in the parties to constitute the ad hoc committee that will then appoint.
So you I thank you so much that you have taken a responsibility that you are the one who has delayed IBC from being constituted.
No, I'm the one who knocked out the bad law that they used to use. And the court agreed with me.
Okay.
So quick question for you though. So
the law that was used to bring us the Chebukati, I threw it out of the window.
Okay.
So I demanded a new law. And so the court agreed with me, ordered parliament to make. And then you have getting this thing called Kizungu Mkuti.
But no, tell us. We still didn't. So what is Tanzania doing different from Kenya? Why is their economy so good? What are they doing different?
The Tanzanian economy is not doing well. The Kenyan economy is doing bad. I wouldn't hold up Tanzania as an example. It's not. Rather than for Kiswahili and the Ujamaa, the unity had been brought about. But right now, I don't hold up Tanzania as an example of any. Just that you can lose against somebody by slowing down without that person accelerating. If that person means what they are, and you are slowing down, you lose. So it's Kenya being mismanaged, not Tanzania being managed well.
It's Kenya being mismanaged.
It's Kenya. Okay.
Money is being stolen and taken out. Loans are being taken and kept outside Kenya. Debts are brought here. Then we are forced to pay those debts when the money never came. So the economy shrinks. Not that Tanzania is doing good, no.
Okay.
Kenya is the only which is committing suicide.
A
terminally sick person better than the man who has committed suicide and he was very healthy.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, perfect example.
You said that you are very interesting the way you put it. It doesn't need any more explanation. But I want to ask, what is the role of Gen Zs in the coming election?
Now, first of all, you have to understand history. or your society. Look at the militaries of the world, even the US. What's the average age? What's the average age of an American soldier? It's a Gen Z.
It's a Gen Z, yeah. Actually, they start recruiting at age 17. You know, they recruit them.
So right now, in any military, any serious military right now would have a Gen Z as the tip of the spear of anything, be it in innovation, military, be it in creating families. The Gen Z who are getting married and producing new babies and whatever. So the Gen Z now is the generation that's the tip of the spear. Spear in every sphere, including in elections. When we were younger, we were done to play that role. And then very soon, their children will come and take over. So, and even like it's written in the book of Joel, when they say that in the days of the Lord, I'll pour out my spirit on all nations. The sons and daughters will prophesy.
Sons will be
your old men will dream dreams, and your young men will see visions.
Exactly.
Gen Z are of a Kenya that is well managed. They are reading on the internet. They are able to live. They are able to live in New York and consume in New York on social media as in the midst of squalor in Mathare. And they say, why can't we be like New York? Why can't we be like Dubai? Why must we be in Mathare? And that people are stealing. And it's a question of education. Now, our role is to educate them. That's what something called the Academy of Public Policy, Politics, and Governance, where we teach them things that are not obvious.
Right.
And if you the finance bill, when I went to court against the finance bill in 2018, nobody knew a finance bill existed. And if you are old enough, you remember during around budget time, there could be hoarding of goods. Goods would disappear as people hoard the goods to wait for
Christmas,
budget to be read, for the budget to be read. The goods come back with a new price. The reason is that the finance bill used to become law on the day read. 2018 and said it cannot be that. It cannot be like that. The finance bill must be debated and given the approval of the representatives of the people before it becomes law. And the court agreed with me. And that order is the one that created in the Public Finance Management Act. And now, so when somebody says that I do not have experience with the
executive power,
I'm replacing executive power from the margins. I'm changing the country.
Now there is an issue, Senator. There is an issue in Kenya. The role of the church. Recently, the Catholic Church returned the money they were given from by Ruto, because during his campaign he had given churches, convinced churches, but this church returned the money. We thought it was across that, but then we saw again Ruto sending, I don't know, Rusaka. Let me see.
Askofu na kanisa letu, we are blessed. Mimi nimetumwa na Mheshimiwa Rais na shilingi milioni 5. 5 million. Iko wapi? Leta. I hope haitarudishwa. Leta rudone. Mkikataa mnipatie mimi mwenyewe. Baba askofu, kuja niwapatie. Haya. Shika this. Shika. Mtoto ameenda mbio sana. Bishop amesema hatarudisha hii.
Now, that's I don't know. That's where in the almost the Busia area there. Now that you have a background, you also wanted to be a father.
That guy was a class by. He was my mom.
Eh?
That guy was my mono. He was a class behind me.
Who? Lusaka?
The bishop. The bishop.
Eh? Who?
It was
the bishop. Oh, the bishop.
Yes. And that bishop of Kisumu was 2 classes behind me.
Are you going to deal with the church and money now that you are from that? Those are your classmates. If you could become a father, you could be the one holding that money. No. You have to comment about that.
Well, I would do this. I would like to know where that money came from. I would like to know whether the taxes on that money have been paid before the money is given. Because the church cannot be Yeah.
Okay.
And even the idea can stand on the pulpit and address the congregation. It's wrong. And it's something I personally, even when I go to funerals, if I'm called to speak, I pray for the dead, I empathize with the mourning family, and if I want a rally, I have the capacity to call a rally at any market and address crowds. This was a lot of bad manners.
Right.
Maybe we need a ministry of good manners. There's a lot of bad manners in Kenya.
Ministry of ethics.
Right?
Yeah, no, not manners, ethics. Manners.
Good manners.
Good manners, even on the road, you saw people drive. It's bad manners. So we might need a ministry of good manners, even the way people dump rubbish. Somebody buy.
That's true.
Driving. You see?
Okay.
So there's a lot of bad manners in the country.
Our time is coming to an end. Dr. Judy, you have any question to ask Senator?
You know, one question that I do have is what do you envision for the, because Kenya is very tribalistic, and we've seen that the seats, all the top parastatals are now managed by the Kalenjins, right? And that's it's obvious, and it is. I mean, we just have that shift of power. What's going to happen in 2027? How are you going to, just make sure that everybody is included, and it's not a tribalistic.
One thing I have advantage of is that I come from a background. Tribal. Busia is a very, very, very interesting area. We had a Kamba woman as a women rep for 10 years. MP called an MCA for Buhaya West is called Talam. He's the only Kalenjin in the whole area, when the wife is not a Kalenjin, but it's the MCA. We have got another one called Peshmat Maina, a Kikuyu in Bumala. It's an MCA, a rural area. The only Kikuyu in the area is an MCA. I come from tends not to have a lot of these tribal things as a primary consideration. So personally, I don't experience it. And even Busia has got 2 groups of got and I have been identified by both. I've seen some politicians have an issue that maybe are favoring this or another. I look at people in terms of character. When I came to Nairobi in 1987 to settle and do other things, my age got in the rango, and we were able to get a single room and begin staying together. He was Kikuyu, I was from Busia, and it didn't matter. So I believe in merit. I believe in character. Even when I fought one time, even right now, I'm having a fight at the Ministry of Lands where somebody, they did an interview for the land registrar, chief land registrar, top marks, he's given the job. Then they find that maybe he's not going to play ball. And their properties, that were this kissy guy whom they want. So they get to write some funny things saying this guy has got a criminal side to him, so he should not be given a job. So they give to the other guy. I pick this thing and I challenge the NIS to come and show the truth of the matter. Why does it lie? It was all fictitious. So I've been able to fight in the courts and argue the Kikuyu guy. But that tribalism, again, you find that we go to the Court of Appeal and we get a kissy judge who is dying with his kissy brother, and they begin things. I can't blame the other. Maybe if the kisses were in power, it would be worse.
Yeah.
Even the villages across Kenya would all be kisses. You never know. It's a problem we have. Without saying this tribe or this tribe, we must just come up and say we need merit.
We need.
And, yes.
Judy.
Yeah. Follow up on that. So, who would be? So, if you're running, I know diasporans are saying you're the Gen Z president. Who would?
I just celebrated my 60th birthday the other day. I've got very deceptive genes.
There you go. But
look at me and the bishop. Look at me and the bishop was there. He looks like my father.
Yeah,
that's true. That is so true. That is so true.
And he was a class behind me. He was younger.
Imagine.
So what if anybody else were to run, what other competitors do you think would come close to what your vision is? Who would you actually say, you know what, this person is going to give me a run for my money?
Well, I don't know who would be that. Politics change now and then. But what I know is that in terms of agenda, I'm yet to see a person who has got a similar agenda. It would be, I would say, this is a competition for me. And I would love to see somebody with a similar agenda to mine so that we can sit together and I say, if it's better than me, I go and drive. The agenda is bigger than the individual. And there's no Messiah who is going to serve Kenya. Every Kenyan has a duty to serve themselves by voting wisely. Wherever they vote for has got the capacity to turn this country around. And for me, my track record speaks for itself. I don't take prisoners.
Okay.
I don't take prisoners.
Well,
I believe in the law, the law only.
Okay, we are coming to the end here. Now, I would like to give you your final remarks, whatever you want to say to the audience, the diaspora audience, and whatever.
I think what I would say to the audience is that they were whether we either go off the cliff or we pull ourselves back and change direction. And I've decided to join the program, offer myself as a possible captain to lead those forces, to institute social and economic reforms, through one, the implementation of the Constitution and total fidelity to the rule of law. Then number two, through the instilling of fiscal policy to make this are secured and used strictly for the common good, used in a sober manner. And then number three, made and public money is used to provide social goods and services that will help drive poverty, will eliminate poverty, extreme poverty among our people, and push Kenya to a middle-income economy. And among those things is food security. We need food sovereignty. 2, we need health, proper public health. Forget about us or whatever. When I was growing up, what we used to be in Kenya was a universal health care. I could walk to any clinic and be treated, and I go home. But they dismantled that. They even removed funding government stores. When I used to swallow a Panadol when I was a kid, it had the inscription GOK. So you could not steal a Panadol from a government clinic pharmacy. But today they removed that and everything is skewed. The hospitals have fallen apart. You cannot have universal health care on a system that relies heavily on private hospitals. You must have public hospitals upgraded to offer the best basic health care, so that that person who chooses to go for a private clinic does that as an extra thing. But the basics must be available. That's when you can now run universal health care. And one of the things how to do that is to and ensure that 15% of the budget goes into healthcare. Then we need to look at education. All this bursaries must be consolidated, and basic education should be taxpayer free, because we need to build the human resource. We don't have enough human. Number 4 is public transport. Public transport, chaotic public transport, is an area where the country is losing a lot of people stuck in jam, people stuck in whatever. People are unable to get to their work when it rains. So if you do that, air transport not being viable, heavy tax being an exclusive luxury of the rich. So we need to liberalize the airwaves, the sky, so that people can Busia and go and do business in Mandera and come back and sleep in Nairobi, or come and sleep back in Busia. So we need to open up that so that the country can move. So if we take care of food, health, education, and transport, we'll be setting this country to a level of where it can take off. The other thing themselves out. People can even sleep in their vehicles and go to work. You don't need shelter.
Well, thank you, Senator. It was nice having you. We hope to continue having you now that we have started this conversation.
Yes.
That we continue, but I know you are a busy person. Thank you for taking your time out to have a conversation with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Judy, for bullying me until I accepted.